the food is way more interesting in the U.S. German food, yeah, no, it's not working for me at all. Hi, so my name is Stephanie Pierce, and I'm a neurodivergent chef. I've been living outside of the United States, where I grew up, for the last 12 years or so. I've lived in London, Tel Aviv, and I lived in Montpellier, France, and I live in Germany, in Darmstadt.
And why you chose Germany?
I've always had quite a passion for Germany, even before I met my partner, who's from Berlin. I almost moved to Berlin instead of London, but then for linguistic purposes, I decided on London. But in this case, I moved to Germany for love because my partner is a chemist, and so he got a position over at the local university. He's doing really well with that. So I came along, and we're a good fit. We're a good partnership. So it works beautifully.
And you told me it's been 6 months since you're here.
Correct.
How you adjust to the country?
It's great. I mean, Germany is a wonderful place to live. It's a good place to settle. I'm enjoying the general stability. The people are reasonably friendly.
What are some cultural shocks which you encountered here in Germany?
Compared to the US, people are just generally quieter in Germany. Like, Americans are very loud people, like volume wise, and they're just extremely interested in talking to you. For instance, if you go to the typical American grocery store, the cashier will want to know your life story. I'm like, can I just buy a box of tampons? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
do you think Germany is safe?
Oh yeah, very much so. I would never felt safer living anywhere.
And from all these countries you lived in, which one you feel more home?
That's a very, very impossible question. The first 5 years of living outside of the US, I was like, home is the US. And then I started to spend more and more time away, and I'm like, well, home is a nice place to go back to the US, right? Like, it's not I know how society works there. Yes, I have my family there. Yes, I have some friends left. Fine, fine, fine. But I have all those things in other countries too. So the idea of home is sort of vapid. It doesn't exist. It's like home is like a very flighting idea, really, on a fundamental level.
Since you mentioned friends, it is easy to make friends here?
No, it's really not, for sure. It's a bit lonely. And I have a couple friends who are expats, and that's okay, but they're gonna leave at some point. I know that.
But your partner is German.
Yes.
And how is it to deal with a German?
He's great. He's level-headed. He's kind, very intelligent.
What's the differences in the way you perceive things or the way you act on things in your relation?
I think it's just to do with his profession, but he's a very analytical person. So he sort of sees things as black, white, boxes, etc. Versus me, I'm a creative person. I'm an artist. I'm a chef, etc. And I have a much more sort of subjective, I suppose, point of view of things. I suppose see things in a little bit more emotion forward.
Do you think culture influences both of you?
Of course. No, yeah, he left Germany 8 years ago, I believe, and I left the US 12 years ago. So I mean, our cultures are very much part of who we are, absolutely. But he's left his version of Germany behind because he's from Berlin, and Berlin is not Frankfurt and Darmstadt. It's a very different cultural mix. Like, people in Berlin are a lot more artsy and creative, and people in Frankfurt, you don't really get that same vibe. Like, you go on the U-Bahn in Berlin, people look like me. People in Frankfurt don't. They look more like him, like straight edge, no tattoos, normal stuff.
And what's the best thing from the American culture which you still keep in your heart? And what's the best thing from the German culture which you like?
That's a difficult question. No, I like it. Best thing in the US, I would say willingness to, it's like a curiosity towards the other. It's just it's really interesting. I mean, Americans, yeah, I mean, there's many flaws, but I think as a people group, we're very friendly, and we want to know what's happening with somebody else. Also, the food is way more interesting in the US. Like, I was just there yesterday, and I just came back, and I ate so good, so fresh and local, and diverse cuisines, and beautiful produce, and amazing. German food, yeah, no, it's not working for me at all. Honestly, the traditional ones. There's good stuff, of course, but The cuisine in Germany is a little bit lacking. I think it's just a bit thin on interest, to be honest. But I think that Germany is a good place because it's like affordable and it's safe. There's government assistance. There's a lot of great things happening in Germany. It's still a little bit soon to tell, I suppose, to paint a full picture. If that makes sense.
And one thing from Germany which you admire or which you like a lot?
People know how to drive here. People, I feel, are less prone to like emotional outbursts. Like they know how to like regulate themselves, how to regulate society, regulate the workplace. Like even I'm working in a local restaurant and it's tough, but it's not like a lot of other restaurants that I've worked in where it's just been kind of like free for all go. Everybody in this restaurant has their exact job. You know what to do. You know what to expect when you come into work, no matter what, which is really unusual in the food industry for sure.
Tell me more about your cooking career, how it started, how is it going?
So my mom has bipolar disorder, and so do I. Mine is much more. I have a handle on it. We'll leave it at that. My mom, not so much. Like, so she had her first breakdown when I was maybe 10, and then she was hospitalized when I was maybe 16 or something like that. So my father can't cook, and so I took care of cooking for us essentially for quite a while. And so I started to learn to cook as like a necessity, as a survival. Because my father was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have poison pizza." I'm like, "No, we're not. I don't want to eat that." Like it's because my mom cooked like good, healthy food, fresh produce, etc. Properly. Cooking became like a hobby as I got older, and then I went to university in San Francisco, and then I'm going to do psychology. This is the time of severe budget cuts in that particular university, and all the California universities had difficulties. Right? There was a lot of difficulties in the classroom. There were too many students. You can get into your class. It was the whole thing. So I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to go to culinary school. This is not working. So I went to culinary school, and it was too easy. I was bored. So okay, you know what? I'm going to go get a job in this field now. So I had my first job cooking in a homeless shelter in San Francisco in a very bad neighborhood called Tenderloin, which now today is full of drug addicts, and it's very scary and it's horrible. I didn't see that. I was like 20. It was like, let's go, it's fine. There's only 3 crackheads today. We're fine. We're doing good. And that was that. So I worked at the shelter for a while to kind of get my foot in the door and for a few months, and then I worked in my first restaurant, which is like California cuisine vibes. So California cuisine essentially is like the idea of like fresh produce, local, organic. And then I think I did 4 years of restaurants, something like that, yeah, give or take. And then I was like, okay, I want to go back to university. And so I wanted to study communicative disorders because I wanted to help people like me because I've got dyspraxia and I think a couple other bits, but I can't really figure that out by myself just yet. But dyspraxia for sure. And communication has been really challenging for me over the years. Like it's better now that I'm a bit older and I'm a bit more regulated, but I was bullied as a child because of my stutter and I talk way too fast. Like I talk fast today, double time at least when I was like until I was about 12. So yeah, that was that for sure. And then yes, I studied and then I moved to London. And then in London, I was teaching cooking to adults with developmental disorders, like people who are neurodivergent. And then I wanted to study again, so I moved to Tel Aviv so I could do my master's degree because as a Jew, you show up to Israel, you tell them, hi, I live here now, you can go to school for free, basically. It's the very short story behind that. So I did linguistics. And then Corona, which for me is great. I wrote a cookbook. I wrote my first one. It's over there. It's the one that's on the right there. It's called Picky Tongue the Cookbook, and Picky Tongue Cooking is my brand. And it's all about like making food accessible for people, particularly people who are neurodivergent like myself. I also teach cooking over here in Germany alongside my regular 9 to 5 job. Anyway, so yes, I wrote my books, moved to France. I didn't cook in France because that was not super, it wasn't really working as far as lifestyle. And then yeah, now in Germany I'm cooking again. It's super,
What's your plan for the future?
For the future, I want to write another book. It's halfway done, and I've been touching it for 6 months. It's called a Picky Tongue Sassy, and it's about food with an aphrodisiac, but of a different game. And I kind of want to open up a restaurant, but I keep telling myself, oh, it's hellish. It's so hard. I'm neurodivergent. There's a lot of challenges that go with that. Like, But I'd like to have a cooking school because I love to teach cooking more than anything else. Like I teach people who are neurodivergent as well, currently online, but also in person if it's possible, absolutely. And I really enjoyed that. Like I'm a great cooking teacher. I love to teach. I love to like share that skill, that passion, see the fire in people's eyes when they get how to use the knife. Finally, after doing it wrong for 30 years or whatever, makes me so happy.
Tell me, how is the money situation in Germany? How is the rent? How is the transportation, the food prices? How you deal with everything?
Our rent is not super cheap. Food is affordable here. Like if you go to the grocery store, it's cheap. Like if you go to the right stores, you can get away with having a very affordable budget, which is nice. Transportation is nice. It's affordable. You can get around pretty well within the entirety of the country, I think.
And how much do you think the expenses are from your case per month?
Maybe 2,000 a month, I would say.
Do you have any advices for Americans which want to come to Germany?
Learn German before you show up. I'm learning German now, and it is hellish of a language. Don't yell so much. They hear you fine. Like Germans have sensitive ears. Like Americans were loud as a people group. Germans don't like that. Otherwise, just do it. Like have fun, do your thing, and bring your best self. Just bring yourself as you are, and you'll be loved.